Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond of the Bullfrog review. And I'm and I'm going to be talking about Fableheaven. Well, not the Fableheaven books, but their sister series, Dragon Watch. And it's continuing the story of the Fableheaven books. And those of you who haven't read or heard of Fableheaven, I'll give you a brief, small synopsis, and that is that it's basically about a brother and sister. The sister's 13, the brother's 11 or 10, 11, and they just had their grandparents died. And in the will of their grandparents, it said, "Hey, mom and all of our relations need to go on a vacation." And with no one left, these children go to their father's side of the family's grandparents who are still alive, grandmas, and they're going to their grandparents' side, the Swanson side. They discover that their grandparents' home isn't what it is in fact a wildlife preserve of magical creatures. And with each and every book, this is book 4, that their adventures get bigger, the world gets grander, and the threats get higher and higher and higher. Can Seth and Kendra, how they can survive this new world? How can they handle the exploration and the wars that are inside? From the villains, the Society of the Evening Star, and the heroes, the Knights of the Dawn. How these two deal with this war and how it builds and builds and grows. That is Fableheaven. And it's going to be kind of obvious. I'm sorry. Again, I'm against spoilage, but there's a second series, so it kind of leads off the fact that the good guys win and the bad guys lose. And Dragon Watch is, again, continuing the story of Kendra and Seth. Again, when we first meet Kendra, she's 13, turning 14. Now she's 15, 16. Her younger brother is like 13 or 12. So they've grown up. They now have a better understanding of this world, the magical world. But because of the ending of Fableheaven, there have been some, you can say, repercussions. Because you've won, there's now it's not like because you've won there's this new threat, but it's more the lines of the way how you won and the way we had to figure out because how we won that last war has put the board of players have shifted. There's now a new war, and that is the war with the dragons. And now there's this new threat, and the only way to stop this threat is to go to these, actually. The dragon sanctuaries. And things are a lot more, the threats are a lot more dangerous than the preserves. And they have to deal with dragons. Again, this is on a bigger scale. There's new friends, new characters, new people you love, and old characters that you are still so happy they're back. And so far right now there are 3 books of Dragon Watch. Book 1, Dragon Watch. Book 2, The Dragon King's Wrath. And Book 3, The Master of Phantom Island. I'm giving you guys a lucky break here. There's still one or two more books left, but you are getting lucky. Book 2 left you on such a cliffhanger that you were on pins and needles till Book 3. So you people are gonna get it easy. You're gonna get it easy. I envy you. And you will too. Again, these books revolve around Kendra and Seth, the brother-sister duo. And these books kind of have the balance of the brother and sister. They're both our main leads, and they both have they share adventures, and sometimes they go off on their own. And as much as they share the spotlight, in the Fableheaven books, it kind of leans a little bit more on Kendra. But again, and I feel like it's good, but yet you kind of feel like, come on, Seth needs to get his open shot. And in the Dragon Watch books, I don't want to spoil, but book 1 kind of shows off that maybe it's going to be on that same balance, that though there's Kendra and Seth, looks like Kendra has a little bit more of a shot in these books. And that's all I'm going to say. There's a lot going on. I love these new books. They're really good. And the flaws of the books, there are flaws. And that is the book author, Brandon Mull. In the Fableheaven books, other than book 1, books 2, 3, 4, and 5, you kind of see there's a small formula that's kind of obvious. We need to find MacGuffin or said objects, and with that object, we'll save everyone. And yeah, that's kind of it. And that kind of happens with these Dragon Watch books a little bit. We need item, we go get, adventure, so forth. Hurrah! That's kind of the flaw, but it doesn't hurt the reread. It doesn't hurt the books, really. It's just, you're going, okay, it's predictable. And then with the Dragon Watch books, after book 2, everything shifts, everything changes. These books just got personal, and I mean personal, and I think that's why Dragon Watch deserves to be read, because suddenly you realize Mull is telling a better story through his characters, and I think you guys will like it. And how to rate the Dragon Watch books are actually gonna be kind of like what I felt for the Fableheaven books. Book 1, Dragon Watch, that's an obvious 6. It feels like when you first read it and the second book, other than the ending of the second book, it almost feels his first books are the better. But then the ending of book 2 changes everything. The whole paradigm of Fableheaven and the Dragon Watch books shift. And it's now you're realizing this is no longer the same story. Wow. So again, book 1 is a 6. Book 2, it's not just, it kind of depends on that ending. It's like, I'm not saying depends, but it's dependent on it. And that ending is worth it, though. It is good, but I can't help but say, yeah, other than that, it's going to be somewhat obvious, Brandon Mull obvious, so I don't want to give off endings, but after that, it's like, I don't want you to depend on it so much, so it's almost like a 5. But book 3 of Dragon Watch, the Master of the Phantom Island. Hold on, I need this. I need that, because book 3 of Dragon Watch is the best book so far of them all. It's the best one. It's the best. That is a 6 out of 7, and really well done, really well made. And these newer characters that you are getting to understand a bit, you go, holy crap, this movie. I almost want to say movie because the way how I read them, but it feels like a movie almost with the third book. How bigger it is, how sometimes as much as the world's in trouble and we get tired of, yes, the world's in trouble. I see it in Marvel, I see it in DC, I see it in Fableheaven. The world's always in trouble. The world's always in trouble, and I'm going, I know that is a threat, the world or galaxy, but all that. But Brandon Mull finally shows off sometimes the worst threats we deal with. That the country's in trouble, our city's in trouble. Those things hurt. but the worst ones are the ones that were it's personal. And obviously, Dragon Watch goes there. These villains go there. And the way how he's written these books, I can't help but... Mull, if you keep this up, once book 4 comes out, and I hope it's the last book, if not book 5, which I may have to wait longer, and I don't want to wait that long. But they are good, and if he keeps this up, he may get a shout out of anger. I mean, in good anger, but that's a whole different story, a whole different meaning for me. But so yeah, Dragon Watch. Book 1, 6. Book 2, 5. Book 3. Book 3 is a 6 out of a 7. You guys will love these books. Highly recommend. Dragon Watch. The Dragon Watch series by Brandon Mull. They're juvenile fiction, but it doesn't matter your age. Though, because it's juvenile, there's going to be a lot more exposition, but hey, these are good books. You'll love to read them if you have kids around that age that are going to absorb more of literature. This is good to read with them. And again, also with yourself. These are good. Highly recommend. And this is the Bullfrog signing out.